Yes, and that is because the principles of behavior apply to all individuals, regardless of whether they have a disability or are neurotypical. And the principles are based on the science of behavior, which looks at why we do what we do, why do we keep doing it, how do we learn how to do it, why do we not do certain things. For example, every Monday through Friday, I engage in the behavior of coming to work, and every 2 weeks I get a paycheck. My behavior of coming to work continues to happen because I receive reinforcement for it. I'm paid for it. Here's another example. When I have a headache, I take Excedrin, and that makes my headache go away. So the next time I have a headache, I'm more likely to take Excedrin because the last time I took it, my headache went away. It worked for me. I'm going to do that again in the future. Here's another example. When my mom tells me to turn off the TV, I cry. And then she says I can have 5 more minutes. The next time my mom tells me to turn off the TV, I'm going to cry because in the past, that worked for me. I got to watch TV longer. So we continue to engage in behaviors that work out for us, and we don't continue to engage in behaviors that have undesirable consequences. Here's an example. When I was a little girl, I engaged in the behavior of touching my stove, and I was burned really badly. I had to go to the doctor every day, get some sort of gel put on my hand, and I had a cast. So my behavior of touching the stove stopped. I never did it again. Here's another example. Let's say Johnny hits his sister Mary. And mom says, you can't hit your sister, Mary. You need to go to timeout. Now let's say Johnny's behavior of hitting Mary decreases or stops. He no longer does that anymore. Then one would say that timeout functioned as punishment. He stopped engaging in that behavior. However, if Johnny continues to hit Mary despite being put in timeout, then something else is still reinforcing that behavior. And so there are other principles of behavior that I didn't go into right now because that would be a very long video, but that's what my course will teach you. It teaches you about the principles of behavior and how to apply them to real life scenarios and look at why our kids are engaging in certain behaviors and why do they keep engaging in them, and how can we get certain behaviors to stop, and how can we get more appropriate behaviors to increase? How can we arrange the environment to do that? But anytime behavior continues to occur, it means it's receiving reinforcement. So while we might engage in certain behaviors to get our kids to stop engaging in certain behaviors, and it stops it in the moment, when that behavior happens again the next day, and the next day, or a few days later, it's receiving some form of reinforcement. And so we're going to look at all of that. And I did not invent these principles. Again, these are universal principles that apply to everybody. But what I will do is break them down for you in a step-by-step process that's very easy to understand so that you can take these principles and apply them into your own home so that you're not taking a wild shot at your child's behavior and just guessing what you think you should be doing. But instead, you're making informed decisions because you now understand the principles of behavior and how to effectively apply them. And just a reminder that I'm adding a language module to the practical parenting course. And so that module for increasing your child's language repertoire will be applicable from when they are born to when they are a toddler to also if your child has a language delay. And if you already own the practical parenting course, there will not be an additional charge added. It will just be uploaded to your course. And it will also be available as a standalone course that will come out on August 27th and is called Time to Talk, Cultivating Language in Your Child's Formative Years. As always, let me know if you have any questions.